in cyber world. Hope everyone's all right. For all you future watchers, thanks for downloading this video. For anyone who's going to jump in, I'll just wait a couple of minutes. I'm here at Inwood Hill Park off Dykeman. I'm not too far where the original settlement here in northern Manhattan by the Lenni Lenape, the Muncie people. Later on, I'm going to walk over there, show you guys. So, it's kind of dark a little bit. The sun has taken off. The moon is up. I'm looking for some light here. I'm being attacked by some moths. Some mosquitoes all around. The cucubanos, the fireflies are coming. And I hear some raccoons or coyotes not too far off. But I like this spot because it's modern and you have the forest. Shirakapak Forest, and you have 21st century human beings. So today the topic I'm going to speak about, I spoke about many times, and I always feel like I don't explain it well. And that's the whole concept of the Taino Creator, or what people who follow religions call God. So I'd like to thank you. If you have any comments, please, any questions, I'll try to answer them. And it's kind of cool out here today. I'm being attacked by mosquitoes, but it's all right. I want to start walking up to the original settlement up here in northern Manhattan. There's a cave that was plugged many years ago. I would say in the early 1920s. There's a cave that's been plugged. In other words, they put stones over it and they landfill to cover it up. But it was the original settlement for the Weskakik people here, band of Lenape. So hope everyone's well. Hope you can hear me. It's Monday night, July 13th, 7/13. Good combination number. For many people, 7 is a good lucky number. And for a lot of people, 13 is an unlucky number. But if you add 3 plus 1 is 4, that's the sacred 4. In the Taino way, you're thinking Deminon and his 3 brothers. So, Tagway, what's up, D? What's up, man? And Squeakless 1 2. Wait, I'm sorry, can't see that well. Swiglick 1 2 3 4 or 2 3 4. Run, hide. He's coming. Where I swear I saw some right around there. I saw some coyotes. I didn't see them. I heard something. Sound like 4-leggeds. Could be Obieg Wabian. So, it's too late. That's right. It's too late. They're watching me. I feel like I give you a sneak peek what I'm talking about. I don't have a flashlight. I was looking and the flashlight, the batteries are dead. So maybe I could use my phone. He's coming. Yeah, Kuko. Yeah. But Sasquatch is my friend, so if anything happens, Sasquatch will show up. There'll be no problems. But the mosquitoes are smarting, man. He always plans ahead. Yeah, right? Wait, hold on. Hey, brother. My grandmother was Taino. She always told me stories about stuff she used to do as a kid. I was wondering if there's anything that I can get. My Taino name. She raised me. Yeah, man, just I have some experience in giving Taino names. I take my time with it ceremonially. Hit me up at TainoFunHouse at proton.me. PROTON.me, and see what we can do for you. And I love to hear those stories. Behind you, yeah. Well, right behind me is I'm actually leaning on I forget what you call these containers, these truck containers. Man, I got a big mosquito bite in my hand. Hey, where you going? It's a delivery guy. That made you look. That's right. So we got civilization on one side, and we got the forest on the other. So let's see what's over here, man. Let me get up a second. I think mosquitoes got their dinner. Especially on my left hand. A lot of mosquitoes. Dude. Gotta be careful. Let me just show you real fast right here. That's a storage locker right there on Dykeman. Got some city bikes. Right behind me, you can see. And over here, see, we got some raccoons or something. Yeah, I come in peace, I tell you. I come in peace. That's right. Let's get closer here. Uh-oh. This message is held for review. Someone said something crazy. Let me see what they said. Oh, that wasn't crazy. A whole bunch of faces. So there you go. I don't know if you can see this. There's a lot of stones right there. Got the stone people. Very beautiful forest. Very beautiful indeed. So, obviously you can't see anything. It's black. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can do something. Nah, I can't. So I'm just gonna walk where there's light and I can start talking. This whole concept of God in the Taino way is very confusing. And one of the reasons why it's very confusing is that the Spanish had no clue. The invaders had no clue how our ancestors were honoring the universe. They tried their best through Juan Mateo, who was the first Taino anthropologist, linguist. The Catholic Church considers him the first martyr because he was killed while he was teaching the Catholic faith, aka their story. But I know back in the day, if you didn't do what they told you, either you get killed or you got killed. Or the third option, you got killed. So I don't think Juan Mateo had a choice. I like to eat tubs of Vaseline. Well, just don't light a match because Vaseline is very flammable. There's people leaving the park here. So I'm walking straight ahead. I'm going towards the river, which is the Hudson River. So let me just start, man. Let me just start. What we know about Taino God, or the Creator, comes from the Spanish. and also from the local people in the mountains, the Hibaro cultures, and how they honor the earth and the sun and the rain, stuff that's been handed down. The relationship with trees, relationship with stones, and you can find all this kind of indigenous worldview in the creation stories. In the anthropological world, they call it, what do they call it? I just forgot what they call it. They call it cultural continuity. There's a lot of cultural continuity in the islands. Hope you're doing good. Thank you, Jonathan. Hope you're doing well. So as I present this image of God in the Taino way, if you have any insights, please write in the comments. So it's gonna get light over there. I'm coming closer. People leaving the river. It's a good time though, this summer. It's a really good time to chill, to have fun, enjoy Maharu, the sun. So most historians, most history books, most accounts that you're gonna read in online and on books, it talks about deities that our ancestors had many spirits or had many gods. You know, in some sources you're gonna read that they practice, they understood animism, polytheistic concepts, multiple gods, and so on. Hope you're doing good, yeah. So, there's some more light here. I'm actually heading to the river, but I might duck into Dykeman Fields, which is next to the river. Get a nice view of the river. And there's lights in there, I think. You know, last time I was here, there was no lights. So yeah, so basically this, wherever you're gonna read, colloquially and modern books, old books, most likely you're gonna hear about deities, that we worship many gods, that our ancestors worship many gods. And there is some confusion in the Taino community even, because we often talk about 12 Zemis. So that sounds like a lot of deities, a lot of gods. So it kind of makes sense. Oh, I forgot to mention, I just passed it down there under that bridge. Right after that bridge is the ancient cave, one of the first dwellings. Okay, we have a lot of people here. You know what? There's a lot of people still in the park. So let me just head out to the river here, where the beach is. That's right, Mahan has a beach in Inwood. Hold on a second. Oh, I'm gonna get straight. Let me talk so it won't record the music. I don't wanna get a credit strike. That's right. So let me talk nice and loud so I won't get a strike. Uh-oh. There's a lot of people here, man. Wow. I'm gonna get strikes like crazy. No way. No way. There's music to my left, music to my right. Oh man, I'm gonna get censored. So let me give you a little view here. This is the George Washington Bridge from way far. There's some beautiful river water. And hey, is that a UFO? No, that's not a UFO. Hey, we got a boat here. Wait a minute, hold on.
I think she does.
Wow, there's people here fishing. right there. There's a boat. Straight ahead is the Palisades, the remnants of the glacier that was here from here to Wisconsin. Straight north is where Hudson River North. Let me see. You are connected is the one creator with many forces of expression. Hey, good job. Yep. Well, here's the thing. Our ancestors, philosophically, at a philosophical level, which I cover one day, it talks of, wait, hold on. I'm just passing. Man, it's really loud today on a Monday. I thought it would be quiet. Whoa, look, huh? Hold on a second. That's right. It's the shadows. Let's talk about shadows. Okay, guys, I gotta get. I'm sorry, I apologize. It's very noisy on Monday. Whew. I'm trying to get some light, but there's music all around me. I want to get a strike. The video's gonna get flagged. There's some nice light right there. Yeah, let me head. People are leaving the field there. I got an idea. Let me walk this way. There's a Greenway Trail. I don't think there's music over there. Hold on a second. Let me show you. See right there? There's a trail. Jay, don't fall asleep on Northern Manhattan. It's beautiful here. Hold on a second. There's the Hudson. Hold on a second. They call this now Fort Washington Park. This is where George Washington and his militia came up here. Take out the British. 250 years, declaring independence. But what a lot of people don't know is that George Washington, whenever he passed an Indian village, he pretty much killed everyone if they didn't cooperate with him and they didn't help him. Real nice guy, huh? That's George Washington, the first president of the United States. And God forbid, if the natives didn't help the colonists, once they settled, became the United States, it is some nasty, awful, genocidal actions against the tribes. So here's a spot right here by the river. I can't get in there. It's where the club of Inwood chill. Yeah, so whenever you see George Washington, think of genocide, you know, for a minute. And I think he used false teeth that were teeth from his slaves. All right, I think I'm gonna chill right here because it's kind of light right here. Okay, so here's the thing, all right? On paper, you can assume that our ancestors believed in many deities or many gods, similar to the, like, say, the Hindu religion and so on. But I dare to say that, and I wrote this down. Hold on a second, let me get my notes. Haha, of course. I think it fell out my pocket, which means someone is probably reading my notes right now and saying, what the hell? They're deities. Hold on a second, guys. Yep, it fell out my pocket. But as we used to say back in school, if I don't know it by now, I'll never know it. So here's the thing. Our ancestors, they understood that the universe above, once they decoded the stars and they were able to travel, they went a whole different level, and that's the sky. Now in the earth, they understood there were also many forces of nature in the earth, and this is how they were able to plant, cultivate, and when they were able to cultivate at a large scale, hundreds to thousands of people, they were able to grow their communities, their yucayekes, their villages. Now this took not hundreds but thousands of years of Caribbean living through the multiple migrations from South America, Central America, North America. All their knowledge and technology was brought to the islands. Okay. Now there's even some people who theorize, and they have their evidence, that there was also Africans that came over before the Spanish, and they brought their technology. So I won't get into that much. I won't get into that in this live. But what I want to do, I want you to understand that our ancestors, they saw the above, they saw the center point, the earth, and underneath the earth, they saw these forces, man. Forces of the stars, the planets, the weather, and then the center plane, which is the earth, the seed, the plant, the harvest, the ocean. And under the earth is those caves, the water, subterranean forces. So our ancestors were figuring this out. They're like, wow, there's forces in the universe above. If you look at the tree right here, there's a tree you see on top of the canopy. That's the stars, representing the stars. If we look at the center pole, the center tree, connected to the earth, that's the center plane. And then underneath the tree, underneath is the rivers, the roots of the tree, down under the earth, and there you have the caves. And this is where the Behiques, the medicine people, did their ceremonies, did their all kind of ceremonies. So then, as centuries, hundreds of years went on, and we started creating these stories. We started creating these stories for the children during the ajritos, the annual ajritos, where the Behiques will lead the storytelling, the history of the people, under the tutelage and under the guidance of the cacique, who was also a Behique. So before you knew it, there was a system of manifestations, system of forces, that when you read it, you think they're deities, you think they're different gods. But in reality, it's the different faces of God, the different manifestations of God at a human level, through our eyes, through the touch, through the harvest, through the ceremonies, through the cojoba, and so on. At a human level, we had 12 major forces. And these forces just wasn't invisible, they were actually physical. So when you look at the sun, it was tremendous reverence. It was tremendous respect for the sun, because they understood that without the sun, the crops will die. Without the sun, we will die. And, like in human history, there were stories of tsunamis and floods and so on. How quickly it could all end. Meteorites crashing the earth, dust. So we got dust in the sky blocking the sun. Our ancestors and all throughout the world, they experienced all this. So in the Caribbean, we understood Maharu. When the sun is out, there's no clouds. That's one aspect. That's one face of God. Maharu. Then, when the dark clouds came, that's Boy Nayed, who brought fertile rains. So we got the sun and we got the rain. And in combination, these plants are going to grow. Just like those plants, just like the tree during the summer, it's going to grow. The yucca is going to grow. It's going to feed the people. So the rain and the sun did not oppose one another, which is a little different from yin and yang. Yang being aggression, and then you have yin, the softness, the breeze of the air, or the leaf. But for us, our ancestors, Maharu and Boy Nayed, they work as a team. They work together. They're twins. And then the mother of those twins was just a supreme power that the ancestors spoke to the Spanish about, and that's Atabe. Atabe represents that vital force, creation, life, that feminine energy, that women share that power. Women weren't supreme, but they did share that power. So there was an understanding that women had this power of birth, lactation, the milk giving life to the child. And when you take that away, the child's going to die. Very, very important. These are all concepts that our ancestors were grappling with, and they understood, and they share these beautiful stories. Okay? That's another face, another manifestation. Now on the flip side, Atabe, which represents pregnancy and life, has another face. God has another face, and that is Guavansesh. And Guavansesh is that face of destruction. So it will be the opposite of life, which is death, but through the weather, the hurricane. But it was a temporary death. It was a transitional death. Just like when a woman goes into her menstrual cycle every month. It's a cycle, okay, that can last up to 50 years. For some women, 60 years they can give birth. But there's that life and death that the woman reminds us. Atabe Guavansesh. Guavansesh being that menstrual cycle. The hurricane is the menstrual cycle. It destroys. But the sun will come up again. When the skies become dark and the fury of the hurricane starts destroying things, destroys the bohíos, the people go underground for protection, and then when it's gone, when the sun is up again, Maharu, it's time to rebuild. And similar to a woman in her menstrual cycle, She starts all over again. If you can tell, we're talking about circles here, cyclical here. There's a cycle of motion. Any questions there? So, that's all masculine. I mean, that's all feminine energy as well. This life and death, birth, menstrual. Now, you also have other faces of God that our ancestors understood. These vital forces. These are forces, energy forces. And another energy force is Yokahu, Bagua, Marakoti. So Yokahu is the spirit of the Yuka. He's of the sea, the power of the sea, power of the Yuka food. And then he had no beginning. So if you don't have a beginning, you don't have an end. It's a constant cycle. The harvest, right? So that's another powerful image of Yokahu. So Yokahu, there's other manifestations. And here's another manifestation by Brahma. And by Brahma was the keeper of the fire that was used to cook the cassava bread, and also during times of war, the Zemi by Brahma will be burned. So, by Brahma played a huge role in community, the use of fire, cassava bread, and ritual, you know. Now, by Brahma had a twin as well, and his twin was Baraguabael. And Baraguabael, his vital force, he represented this face of God, the gardens, the conucos, the plants, the flowers, the harvest. So when you look at the garden, you look at those plants right in front of me, right? If you go to a garden, you go to a farm, that's some powerful forces right there. Because that's going to feed people. That's going to give people power, man. And there's certain plants that can even bring you to other worlds. It can transport you to other worlds. Like the cohoba, which the Taino people, the Taino Behiques mastered. Where they can able to communicate with the trees. They can able to communicate with these vital forces that I'm talking about. I'm jumping ahead, but now all the stuff that I just mentioned right now is like Maharu. It talks about the light, the life force. Now there's also death in this God that we know as Creator God Taino. Mautiariye Guayaba represents like the Lord, the leader of the dead. Okay, so that manifestation of God representing death. Okay, so you have Yokahu on one side, by Brahma, Baraguabael, all representing life force, and then you have the death force. Mautiariye Guayaba. So we're talking about opias, the spirits. When humans die, the spirits don't die. They continue on to Guave. And they live in Sorai. So here's the thing. This life force is also operative in the death world after you die. So death is not really death the way we say, like you're going to die, that's it, bury you. Nah, man, there's energy is still going. The opias are still alive somehow, but in a different form than humans. And there's stories like that. In the future, I'll share a lot of those stories. So there's a set of twins after him, and that is Obiye Guabian, the dog deity, according to the stories, he looked like a dog, and they would tie him up because he always went to the forest where the opias are, the spirits, at night. And they say when the Spanish invaders came, Obiagwabian disappeared, never to be seen again. So he's known like as when you die, you go to Wabe and you're gonna see this dog. You're gonna see Obiagwabian like a guardian at the door. So here's another manifestation of God, manifestation of the Creator. This life force that just doesn't die. It just changes. Okay? And then you got Corocote. Corocote is mentioned as a night force because Corocote was the Zemi that that has sex with the cacique's wives. So this guy was romantic, and he didn't care. He just wanted your wife. So they will normally you'll be on the roof of the bujillo, the cane of the cacique. So there's stories about Corocote. So now we're looking at ancient peoples who's understanding that God, the Creator, this ultimate reality, this life force, is sexual as well. It's romance. You just don't have sex to have babies or creation. It's also, you enjoy it. There's an enjoyment to it. The enjoyment of the kiss, the enjoyment of infatuation, and you finally have your wife and then you have your children. So that kiss that started with a kiss became union. Now you have children. Now you got the future, and eventually those children will die just like their parents, and then they'll go on to live a different life in Guave. So you see, it's a constant circle. It's a constant circle. So if you guys are still with me, I just want to mention right now that the Creator, you can't put the Creator, especially the Taino Creator, can't put him in the box. Can't put her in the box. It's impossible. It's all these manifestations. I just named 12 main ones that our ancestors saw. So these are vital forces. These are relational beings. Relational forces as well. It's almost like a good salsa dance, when the man and the woman, or the woman, man, when they dance together in total rhythm to the drums and to the song, this magic is created. There's a powerful force that's created. So, see, we manifest it.
Time for it to not be out in your face.
So we're always manifesting these forces in our life. Now, I've been teaching this for a little bit now, that there is a 13th Zemi. And the 13th Zemi is us, humans. We have this awesome responsibility to keep everything in rhythm. A good guitar player will know how to tune his guitar with no machinery, nothing, just with the hearing. We get that perfect pitch so they can sing their songs. That's a seasoned musician. Okay? So as human beings, when we're healthy, we can maintain rhythm. But when we're not healthy, when we're deaf, or tone deaf, everything can be destructive. And this is where we're living right now in 21st century with so-called politicians and leaders throughout the world. They're not giving a damn about the people. And this is where suffering comes in. Where natural resources are not shared, but are sold. So we live in a very sick society right now, and needs a lot of healing. Right now, looking at that river, the Hudson River, there's signs that are put up that sometimes you can't even go in the water because of the bacteria levels, because of the sewage or whatever. So we live in a very sick society right now. In the ancient world, we weren't perfect human beings, but the battle was always about keeping the rhythm. keeping that balance. So what do we do? What do we do as Taino people in the 21st century? What in the world do we do with these ideals, these concepts? Well, it's up to you. What are you going to do? You have a choice as a human being. Many of us identify as Taino. And when you identify as a Taino, you identify as an indigenous person of the Caribbean. Now, many of us were not raised in the Caribbean, not born in the Caribbean. So there's a lot of folks that don't take us seriously as indigenous peoples because we weren't born in the island. Or we're living in modern society, modern clothing, and so on. You know, how are you indigenous? So there's many levels of indigenous identity. But the most basic level is your self-affirmation that you are Taino. That's the starting point. And it doesn't matter if your parents don't agree, if your relatives don't agree, if your friends, that doesn't matter. If the professors in your school don't agree with you, what's important is what's in your heart, what's in your mind. Hold on a second. Whoa! Metro North. So there's a lot of stuff I'm sharing. I don't even know the time clock. Oh, 41 minutes. Damn, okay. So, let me take out my rattle here. Actually, hold on. What is a Zemi? A Zemi is a representation of the life force. And the life force is multifaceted. The life force is not just one, but many. The life force is relational. That's why human beings are social beings. Why we're social beings? Why do we need one another? Because just look all around, man. There's relations. There's the push and there's the pull. There's the moon and the sun. Any questions, comments? I'm back. Hi. So it's all relational. That's why we just have more than just one concept of God. We have the universe is a life force that's just doesn't stop. So I just want to show you a Zemi of Yokahu Bagua Manakoti. This was someone gifted me this. This is sandstone. This is a carving of Yokahu. This was carved in Borinquen. And this is, you can touch it. It is sandstone. But it contains the life force of the yucca. It contains the spirit of the yucca. It contains the spirit of sustenance. I know that if I stop eating, maybe in 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going to die. So I know that food is crucial. I also know that there's certain foods that can harm me as well. So this life force that's Yokahu Bagua Manakoti is showing me in my own life that life force of sustenance, of food, life. I want to show you another Zemi. And this is where it gets crazy. This is where it gets nuts. And this is where a lot of people get confused. So we have the Zemi of Yoka. This is Atabe, the Earth Mother giving birth, or I should say the Cosmic Mother giving birth to the universe. So I'm just gonna put them right here, right there. So here's the crazy part. A lot of people get confused, and I say crazy because as human beings, this is intense stuff to understand. And our ancestors were masses of intensity. This is physical, right? It's a physical. This is made out of clay, and this is made out of sandstone. Oh, there's an ant, people. So here's the thing. In this substance, in this clay, in this stone. Hold on a second. We got some people coming in here. Got some of the young people. Sorry for the curse words. All right. Wow, it's a whole group of small, I forgot what you call that, scooters. So basically, this physical form right here contains life forces. The same energy, the same stuff that's in Saturn, that's in the black hole, that's in the sun, that same life force, life, energy, power is in this. So that's the crazy part about this whole thing. As human beings, we're able to harness that energy. We're able to do great things with this powerful energy that we put in these objects. And there's stories about how this was done. In the future, I'll share that. But Atabe gives birth to her son, Yokahu. Gives birth to her son. Oh, there's the ant. So, Atabe, Yokahu. There's that masculine and feminine energy. So whenever you see a Zemi, an ancient Zemi, that Zemi contains power, a life force. And that's what's amazing about this whole concept of the Taino God. It's energy, it's power. And you, as the 13th Zemi, you have this power. When you wake up in the morning, when you start planning your day, or when you start understanding who you are and what you need to do, that's energy, man. That's energy. That's a life force. And where did a life force come from? It came from the ultimate life force. So you are a manifestation of this ultimate reality, this ultimate life force. If you're lucky, you can live 80 years. The older folks that live on the land can live up to 90, 100 years old. So if we're lucky, see, I was born and raised, I was conceived in Puerto Rican, but I was raised here in New York. And so many negative influences in our food and the air and so on. Became asthmatic and so on. So here's the thing. But we still have this life force in us that we're able to heal. And we're able to help other people. We're able to make plans and dreams and so on. Man, that's sacred stuff, man. You have it. You know? And then when you die, when your physical body dies, I don't know if you've ever seen a person die, but that energy's gone. And after 8, 9, 10 hours, the body's going to start decomposing. And it's eventually going to smell. And eventually, it's going to become nutrients. If you buried it straight up in the ground, with no chemicals or anything like that, put you in a wood box or whatever. Or if you burn in cremation, once again, these are your nutrients for a future generation, for the worms, for the insects, for the snakes. for the birds, for the tree. There's no end. There is no end. It's constant motion. Why did everybody leave? I know, man, everybody left, but it's all right. This will be for archives in the future. I'm going to, starting tomorrow, I'm going to do some vlogs talking about the Zemis, the sacred life forces. And little by little, hopefully I can help you understand. We as a physical beings, we're not made of clay, we're not made of stone, we're not made of wood, but we're made of blood and flesh. In us is a life force. And there's some people in this world that can actually create other life forces, other human beings, which is amazing, man. We're able to procreate. And for many people that can procreate, they adopt children. Because say they want a family. They want to teach the future generation. That's also life force. That's also birth, giving, feeding. So let's hear it for the ancestors, for what they've done. The concept they left is not just God the Father, but it's God the Father and the Mother. There is a being, a supreme spirit of spirits called Yaya, and this Yaya is seen as a male, and Yaya is a father. He's also a husband. So when you look at Yaya, the spirits of spirits, you're looking at a being, a supreme being that manifests as masculine energy and masculine roles. So that's a sacred role. So you have Atabe, that feminine role of procreation. That's another aspect of the life force that's sacred and powerful. So our ancestors, they weren't, they were rocking and rolling. They knew what to do. They were creators, man. They created. They were imaginative. They took clay, they took wood, they took stone, and they manifested these energies, you know. So I got my rattle now. The rattle, the gore represents something that's dead, that turns very hard, and then the seeds inside create music. So once again, that's the dance, the rhythm of life and death. So wherever you are, I ask that this life force give you tremendous inspiration, gives you hope, and you have plenty of time to say to yourself, what can I do to keep the life force active? What can I do to help other people manifest their power? So, you're not dead yet if you're watching this video. So your time right now is to spin. Don't stop. Keep the vital force going. Keep the life force going. Don't destroy. I want you to procreate. I want you to create life. And I'm not just talking about partnership. I'm talking about what can you do in relation to the tree, to the ocean, to your neighbor, to your family, to your spouse, to your lover, whatever. What can you do to maintain this energy? To spin. Okay? Guys, I'll see you soon. Tomorrow I'll be doing a little ceremony related to the first Zemi, which is Atabe. I do start with her first because she's the creatress. She gave birth to the universe. Not literally, but something happened. Something happened that life is what we know. And as human being, all I know is life comes through the mom with the help through the father. There's teamwork there, there's relationship. Okay? But the very act of creation, the very act of birth is a transitional state of stillness and being in the water and then coming out, breathing the air. It's relationships. So guys, wherever you are, keep your relationship strong. Keep it going. Don't be afraid of those butterflies that are rumbling in your stomach. All I want you to know is that your path is not just a line, but it's a circle. So if you look straight ahead, see that path straight ahead? It's a line. But if you follow that path, it goes around Manhattan Island. Okay? It goes around Manhattan Island into a circle. So whatever your life path is, it's a circle. If you mess up, dust yourself off and get back in. It's a circle. All right, guys. Peace out. This is the Cyber Behige Sana Cody. Me here, you there. Tainos everywhere. Peace out.